Welcome back to Naughty Lily's Crochet. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this table runner. I used it as a piano runner and I want to show you how to make it. You can make this any size that you want, any length that you want. It's very easy to change that about this pattern. And you can make it any width that you want also. You can make it any color you want, obviously, do the border in any color that you want. So my measurements for this, the length was 72 inches, not including these tassels, and the width was about 9.5 inches, and that fit my piano with some hanging off pretty well. So I'll show you how to customize it so you can make it your size also. So the materials that you will need for this and what I love this cotton yarn, and I used the main color, Ivory, and then the border I did Serene Spa, okay? So I also used a size 5 hook, and I love my tulip hook, so that's what I'm using today. And you'll need some scissors, your darning needle, some stitch markers if you use them, and a couple of beads for the tassels. I used the 20mm beads, okay? And so also for this pattern, it is done mostly in what we call extended single crochet, very easy variation of the single crochet, so I will teach you how to do that. And then I do the border in the last part of the border in a double crochet. So if you would like to have a PDF version of this pattern, you can visit my Etsy. I'll put that in the description, and you can buy the pattern there if you would like that. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to get started here, and I just wanted to let you know that I also used 4 skeins of the Ivory for my project, and I only had to use a little bit of 1 skein of the border color. So you might need more if you're going to make your project bigger. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the slip knot on our hook here. And then we're going to chain 2 for our first row. Okay, so first row, chaining 2. And then we are going to do an extended single crochet in the second chain from our hook, or it's the first chain that you made, okay? So for an extended single crochet, we're going to go in like we're doing a single crochet, grab yarn, you have 2 loops on your hook. You're just going to grab yarn and go through one of those loops, and then grab yarn and go through both of those loops, okay? So we're going to do that twice in here. So one more time, we're going to go through, grab our yarn, go through 1, now go through 2, okay? So extended single crochet just adds a little bit of height to a regular single crochet, and it just has a nice drape to it, the way that it falls, the way that it fits, okay? So I enjoyed doing this stitch. So for our second row, what we are going to do is chain 1, and we are going to turn. In the first stitch, we are going to do 1 extended single crochet, so grab yarn, go through 1, go through 2, and in the second one we are going to do 2 extended single crochets. So in here I'm going to do 2. Grab yarn, go through 1, grab yarn, go through 2, do that same thing, grab yarn, go through 1, grab yarn, go through 2. Okay, so on this one, we should have 3 stitches. This would technically be row 3. So we should have 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to go on to row 4. We're going to chain 1. And we are going to turn. So in the first and the second one, we're going to do an extended single crochet. And this next one, second one here, extended single crochet, and in the last one we're going to do 2 extended single crochets, okay? So that's 1 and that's 2. So on this round, our row, I keep calling it a round, on this row we're going to have 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can see this is making the triangle part of our piano runner. Okay, and the pattern here, we're going to do one more row. We're going to do row 5. Okay, we're going to do chain 1, turn. The pattern is that we're going to do an extended single crochet in every stitch, but in the last one, we're going to do 2. Okay, so the first one, very first one, do an extended single crochet. So that's 1. And then the second one, that's 2. And the third one, that's 2. And in the fourth one, we need to do 2. And that helps us keep widening this project, okay? So every time we add 2 to the end, we're making it bigger and bigger. So at the end of this row, we should have 5 stitches, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, this is just the repeat of this part of the pattern. So for row, what I did 6 through 38, you're going to extended single crochet across every stitch except for the last one. On your very last stitch, you do 2 extended single crochets in the same stitch. Also, if you are a beginner, and sometimes even when you're not a beginner, even I still do this, it is a good idea to use some stitch markers just so that you're not losing any stitches. So what I always say is that you should put a stitch marker on your very first stitch of the round, okay? So you're going to go in here, do that first stitch, and then go ahead and put a stitch marker right here so that you will know exactly where to go at the end. Sometimes the end stitches can kind of hide. They seem like they're more on the side, so you don't realize that that is a stitch, or they just kind of get squished and small and you don't realize it. So I always say to go ahead and put one at the very first one and at the very last. So I'll just get to the last of this row and show you. Doing one on the last one might kind of seem silly just because you take it out right away, but it's really a good idea here. So just kind of doing this really fast here. Let's fix that one. We're doing 2 in there. Okay, so on the very last one, if you put another stitch marker right here, then when you turn, you won't accidentally miss the first one, okay? So you'll have a stitch marker at the end, and you'll have one right here. Keep this one here. Do your first stitch. You'll have to take out the stitch marker. Then you'll have to do the first stitch here, and then replace the stitch marker on the very first. So at least do it, I would say, on every first stitch of your row, just so that you can always find out where to do your last stitch. But I also recommend doing it on every first and last, just in case you need a little extra help with counting stitches, okay? So I will get to row 38 and I will show you the next part. Okay, so I have reached the end of my 28 rows, and my width is about 8 inches here. If you want to make the width bigger to fit whatever area table you need, if you want this part to be wider, then keep going until you get it as wide as you want it to be. When you get it as wide as you want it to be, then you are going to stop increasing. Okay, you're going to stop doing 2 in the last stitch, and you're just going to do 1 extended single crochet each time, all the way across. So you're going to keep the same stitch count at this point if you want to count your stitches, okay? So you can do this. For my pattern that I did it from row 29 to row 160. You can do it shorter if you want this to be shorter for your table, or longer if you need it to be longer, okay? So mine was to fit a piano. So if you're trying to fit a bigger table, you might want to do more rows. So I would just suggest measuring so that you know what it's going to look like. And I also take into account how much is going to be hanging off on each side. So I have mine hanging off at the top of the triangle on each side, okay? And then the middle part is what's on the top of the table. So just take that into account when you're doing this, okay? So what we're gonna do is I will meet you back at the end when I'm done doing the middle part. I'm gonna make mine a lot smaller just so I can show you the rest of it. So I'll just do a little bit in the middle, and then I'll show you how to do the other triangle on the other side, okay, to finish it off. So we're going to stop about here, and then we were going to start decreasing our stitches to make the end of our piano runner. All right, so I'll meet you when I'm done. All right, so I'm at the end of the middle part of the piano runner. So I just did a very short amount here just so that I can get this done and show you guys. So this is the middle part, okay? So just like this, it's just all this middle part. And like I said, you can keep going to make the middle part as long as you want it, okay? But now what we're going to start doing is start doing a decrease on the other side so that we can make this this point, this triangle part, okay? So I've done my first row, and so what this would be for my pattern that I have, you would be doing this from row 161 into the very end. You will end with one extended single crochet at the very tip, and then I'll show you how to do the border. So what you're going to need to do is every stitch across, you're going to be doing an extended single crochet, but in the last two stitches, we are going to be doing an extended single crochet decrease. So we're going to start reducing the stitches and make this go inward, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that extended single crochet decrease. So what we do for this is we go in to the first stitch and we grab a loop. And then just like you would do a single or an extended single crochet, you're going to go through just the first one, but you're not going to finish. So now you're going to go into the second one, yarn over, go through just the first one again, and then you're going to go through all three. So a couple extra steps than just doing a regular decrease, okay? So I'll go ahead and show that to you again here, just so you can see. Make sure that you got it. This one's a little bit trickier, okay? So this is just a regular one, so we'll get to the end here. So we have the two here. So we're going to go in, yarn over, go through one. We're going to go through the next one, yarn over, go through one. Then go through all three. Okay, so if you need to watch the video over again, go ahead and do that. And so basically what you're going to be doing, like I said, is from 161 all the way to the end. This is what you're going to be doing. Do an extended single crochet until you get to the last two stitches. You're going to do an extended single crochet decrease. So make those two stitches into one stitch, okay? And then you're going to chain one, go all the way across, and do it again at the end here, okay? So I will go ahead and get to the end of my triangle point here, and then I will show you how to do the border. All right, so I am at the very end, the very tip of the triangle here, and you can see that we are left with just one stitch right here, okay? So you should have just one decreased stitch right here. So we're going to move into doing the border, and for 2 rows of the border, we're still going to be using ivory. That's what I did. I mean, you can change things up if you want to, but I did 2 rows of single crochet for the border in ivory, and then I did 2 rows in the blue color. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn, and we're going to be doing a single crochet in that last stitch that we just did. So we're going to do a single crochet here, and then we're going to be single crocheting all the way around until you get to the other point, and then I will show you how to round the corner there, okay? So when you're doing these single crochets, just try to make them as evenly across as you can. So what I did is, if I can show you here, these bigger holes, I did 2, and the smaller one right here, I did 1 single crochet. That seemed to work out for me, but you can kind of try that out. So this is let's see, this is the bigger one. So we'll go in here and do a single crochet. So make sure that you're doing that right. What I did was a single crochet. So we're done doing the extended single crochets, okay? So I did 1 here, 2 here, and then in the smaller part, it's like a little opening there, I did another one. So you'll kind of see it. So 2 here in the bigger holes, and there's a smaller hole right here, and I just did 1. So you can just try to go as evenly across as you can, that they're evenly spaced out. If there's too many, it'll be bunched up, so you don't want to do that. So I'll get to my other corner and then I will show you how to round that corner. Okay, so I'm at the end of my first corner here, or my first side, doing this corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish the side. So I just have 1 more. So I see that there's a hole right here. We're going to do 1 single crochet here. And then the tail, you can see the tail here in this very last hole right at the end of the tail. So this is where it's going to be a little different. We're going to do 1 single crochet there. We are going to chain 2. And then in that first chain, we're going to go in and do a slip stitch. And then in the exact same space, okay? So that tail space that we have done all this in, we're going to do another single crochet. So what this does is just help to keep the corner pointed, okay? So we're going to go down the side again with our single crochets, and then I'll meet you back at the corner and show you how to finish that corner. Okay, so I have come to my second corner here. I'm just going to finish it up. So I'm going to do a single crochet here. We'll do another single crochet right here. And then we're at the top here. So I'm just going to kind of find this stitch, just the very top stitch there. It might not be very clear, so just try to do the middle one. And I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 2, then we're going to slip stitch into that first chain that we made, and then we're going to do another single crochet in the exact same spot here. Okay, so again, this is just making trying to keep the point here. Okay, and at the end it's going to look a lot better when we finish the border. So at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to do this all 1 more time, okay? At least that's what I did. So I'm going to do it 1 more time in Ivory, and it should be a little bit easier this time because now you have defined stitches to go into and you don't have to guess. So I'll go all the way around and then I will show you how to change into the border color. So I have finished the 2 rounds of the single crochet border in Ivory, and I'm to the last corner here. So same thing for the corners. I'm going to do my last single crochet that is right here. Okay, this is just leading up to the corner here. And then this corner piece, I'm going to go into here. Sometimes a little tricky, so just trying to find a spot to go in there. I'm going to do a single crochet, 2 chains, slip stitch into the first chain, and a single crochet in the exact same spot. So now I'm going to change to my border color. So to change to my border color, I'm going to start a single crochet like this, drop the ivory yarn, grab a loop of the new yarn, put it on my hook, and finish the single crochet with this. All right, so now just going to tighten everything up a little bit. I'm going to want to grab the white yarn and the blue yarn here. and just tighten everything up a bit. And then to save you from having to weave in your ends, we take the ends that we're not using anymore and we lay them across the top here. And now we're just going to single crochet with those ends on the top, okay? So make sure when you're going in that you're grabbing them, that they're not getting lost behind, okay? So they're right on top. We're going to single crochet over those ends until you feel like they are secure enough. And you're going to do this, everything that we've been doing exactly the same, the way that you've been doing your corner, everything exactly the same for 2 more rounds in this blue color. So I'll do my 2 rounds and my corners, and then I will show you the last border round. Okay, so I am at the end of the 2 rounds of the border color here. I did the corner stitch here, and then as you can see here, there's not 2 rows of the blue here, so I'm going to just get up right until this next stitch, and then I'm going to get ready to do the next part of the border, which is the double crochet border, okay? So I'm going to do this last one here in single crochet, but not finish it. Then I'm going to grab a loop of the white color and pull that through. I'm going to tighten everything a little bit here. And then we will start to do the double crochet. So remember that we're going to take the ends so that we do not have to weave them in, and we're going to lay them on the top, okay? So the next one we're going to do a double. Okay, and so for that double crochet, remember that you are going to grab yarn first, go through, grab yarn. You have 3 loops on your hook, and you're going to go through 2 and go through 2, all the while keeping these tails on the end here, or on top, so that you can crochet over them. Okay, so we're going to go all the way across this side, and I'm going to show you how to do the corner, because we're going to do the corner just a little bit differently here. So I'll get to that corner and I will show you what to do. Okay, so I am at the end of the one side doing the double crochet, and I've come to my corner. So I'm going to find the very top part of my corner, just right down in the middle. If for some reason it doesn't feel like this is right in the middle, you can kind of move it wherever it looks best. So the way that we're going to do the corners, we're going to double crochet right at the tip. We're going to chain 1 and double crochet in the same spot. Okay, so this is going to make the very tip part of this, okay? Like this. Okay, so then we're going to do the other side. And then when you get to the end, you are going to do that same double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same stitch. And then you're going to double crochet until you get to the last one here, and you are going to slip stitch to this one right here. And then the body of your table runner will be all done, and we will work on the tassels. So I'm at the end here at the corner with this double crochet border, and I'm just going to finish it up with you. So I'm going to finish up these last couple of stitches here. And then in the middle part here, we are going to go in here and do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet all in the same spot. Then I'm going to continue this until I reach the other, or the first double crochet here. And then I'm just going to slip stitch to it to end everything. Okay, so your corner should look a little bit more rounded now. We kept it pointed, but at this point, we're just making it a little bit more rounded here. So we'll go ahead and cut that off and finish. And then we are going to make our tassels that are going to attach here. So you'll make 2 tassels and they will attach just right at the corner here. So I'll show you how I make my tassels. So I'm going to take a medium book. You can decide how long you want them to be. If you want your tassels to be pretty long, you could do this whole length here. I'm just going to do this length here for now. So what I do for mine, I'm going to wrap it around about 30 times here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, we got a little tangled here. So at this point, I'll just stop that, but you can do it for 30. And I have sharper scissors here. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Keep the loop like this. And I'm going to cut one side of the loop, okay? Just like this. So keep this together. And then you're going to take one longer piece here. And we're going to put it in between the loops. So we lay this down, put this longer one underneath, and we're going to tie it, okay? Tie it right here. Just tie like 2 knots. Make sure it's in the middle. Just like this. So then you have this part of your tassel. Okay? So now, to make the little top part here, we're going to have another longer piece of string that we're going to wrap around. All right. So, take this one, go underneath here. And what I do is I find exactly where I want it to be, and I'm going to tie it here. So that makes the like bump part at the top of the tassel, okay? So I'll do 2 knots here. Then I can take these ends here, and I'm just going to wrap them around a couple of times to make it look nicer here. So wrap it around, and then when you get it to where you like it, we will take our darning needle and we will put the ends in here. We're going to tuck them in to hide them. Okay, so like this. Now we're just going to go from the top here, underneath, and pull through. So that just kind of hides those ends there. And we'll cut the long pieces when we're done. Okay, so then we're going to attach our bead at the top. So same thing, we're going to take the top ones now. We're going to put these through the darning needle and thread that through your bead. Okay, so you can do a couple of knots here. Sometimes that hole is a little too big and the knots don't actually hold it, but it kind of depends. All right, so you have your tassel here. So you can lay out your tassel. You can either do this, after it's on, or you can do it now. Kind of lay out your tassel, use some really nice sharp scissors, and just try to get it nice and straight at the end here. Okay. All right, so then what we're going to do is tie this to our project. So I'll show you how to tie this. We'll have to weave this end in later. Okay, so I'm going to take one end of the top here. I'm going to thread it through the darning needle. I'm going to make sure to put it in the very tip of this, okay? So try to find the middle of those 2 double crochet stitches, and we're going to just thread that in there. And we're just going to tie it. So just tie a knot here. A couple of knots there. Just like that. And then you will just take your darning needle and weave in these ends. And that is your finished tassel there. All right, so there you have it, your finished product here. That's my mini version of it, the long version of it here, okay? So I hope you liked this video. I hope it worked out for you. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them in the comments. And again, if you would like the PDF version, you can find that in the comments, in the description, actually. Okay, so I would love it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more.